Good morning and welcome to Daybreak Africa show. Today happens to be the 10th day of February 2020, and as usual, we are here in the studio. My name is Victor Tehemba.
And I am Quest Hundo.
And it's nice to have you begin this week with us on a Monday morning. We don't know, people really drag their legs when it's Monday morning because it's coming back from work.
From a long
yes,
weekend.
It's resuming work from a long weekend where maybe you have had fun, you've relaxed. And some people start having fun from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they barely have time to rest and are like really to assimilate that by Monday we are going back to work and all of
I think as much as people are excited about closing the week, thank God it's Friday. I think people should also be excited starting the week, because if you don't start
thank God it's Monday.
if you don't start the week, how would you end the week? So I think it's also somebody said that depression happens mostly Sunday evening when people begin to imagine that tomorrow is Monday and work resumes.
And I think that this is mostly a less than psychological something, because it like when you're thinking that by Monday is going to be a long, like the week is long, so Monday is just a starting day. I know Monday is where everybody wants to get things up and all of that. But I think that most times when you now get to the office, you now find that your Mondays are no different from your other days of the day of the week. They are basically the same sort of day. It's just that you're feeling that Monday is really harsh.
And in line with that, most people encourage that you should do what you love to do, so that you don't have a problem with getting up to go and do it. And so if you're having fun, if you're going to work to do what you love, and something that even without being cajoled or motivated to do, you will do it, then Monday will not be any different from any other day.
Definitely, Monday won't be an issue. And as usual, we're back here on Daybreak Africa, so it means that we'll be giving you a rundown of everything that has happened, everything that is going to happen, everything that is basically happening at the moment, and it's going to be more of today's episode is going to be more of entertaining. It's going to be more entertaining and informating. Yeah, so they are going to get a lot of information.
Like we always say, Nigeria is never devoid of drama, and for every 3 days, for every time we go for weekend and come back, we have so much happening during the weekend.
And not happen within just 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And so you find out that newspapers never run out of headlines.
Out of headlines, and we also never run out of the information to share with our viewers. Exactly. And that's why we always encourage our viewers to tune in every morning, working day in the morning between the hours of 8 to 10, because you get information, you get entertained, you get tips on how to live healthy, you get something to laugh about and something to encourage you kick and start the day very well. Exactly.
And before we kickstart the day properly, we would like to go into the headline news to see what has been making the headlines within the weekend and this morning. So headline news is up next, and after then we'll be back.
Welcome back. If you're just joining on, it's still Daybreak Africa, and we just went on that short break to give you headline happenings in the headline news, and that was really an interesting line of headlines. And like we said, a lot happened during the weekend.
Yes, really, a lot happened, and then there's also the issue of. Just yesterday, wasn't it yesterday? That's a Northern Elders Forum, NEF, came out and said that they have lost confidence in President Muhammadu Buhari, and that didn't really go well with the presidency, because they came out and said, "Oh, who is the
paper tiger?"
Yeah, okay, they actually the paper tiger. It's a one-man show. Yes.
Then I like not like I like it, but the response that comes from the presidency sometimes is quite interesting, because when people raise some of these issues, they're pertinent to viewing their concerns and airing their own opinion, and so it's interesting how some of these people are answered coming from the presidency. Yeah.
Exactly, and then let's not also forget that African leaders on Sunday also had a say in the recent President Donald Trump's Mid-East peace plan, and so they condemn it as illegitimate and taking advantage of that it's illegitimate and taking advantage of an African Union summit to voice solidarity with the Palestinian cause. So for people that we do well to remember the issue of this in Palestine and Israel. So this issue is just basically the one that goes with this and Palestine and Israel fighting about a particular territory. And then the US has always tried to find, let's get a peace plan, and then but then US seems to be pro-Israel, and Israel is pro-America as well. So from the plan that they drafted out, it seems that particular territory, which also includes the Hamas, if I'm not wrong, will go to the Israel, and then the Palestinians do not want that. They felt that no, we can't do that. So I think the African Union are standing in solidarity with this Palestinian government and said no, you can't really.
And then the argument of the fact that you don't use an African summit to choose which side you are on. If you are on the side of Israel, then you should do what you do outside of our forum. Don't use our forum to propagate your issue. But most interestingly also is the fact that the US president or the US government has no hidden interest in the fact that being vocal about the fact that they are pro-Israel, and anyone that stands against Israel, they stand against the person. So it's nothing new for Israel. For the US or the US president to stand firmly regardless of the issues in question. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So, and earlier before we talk about this issue, we're talking about the Northern Areas Forum, which is led by a man called Professor Ango Abdullahi. Now, he has always been in the news, but most of the times not for the good reasons. So in fact, the last time he was in the news was also for a reason that he was being backed by a lot of Nigerians. So Professor Ango Abdullahi led Northern Elders Forum has risen from its meeting in Zaria on Sunday with the verdict that President Muhammadu Buhari has failed Nigeria. Now, the issue of whether this president has done well or has failed, it's basically subjective.
Yeah, subjective, and everybody has their opinion to that regard. As much as a lot of people are of the opinion that he's doing a lot, and the steps he's taking are steps in the right direction. We may not have gotten to where we intend to go, but the fact that he's taking steps in the right direction shows that we're making some level of progress. But the Northern Forum, the Northern Forum has also come out to say that they have lost confidence in him, which goes to say a lot about them, because not too long ago everybody drummed their support for this administration, and especially the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. So I wonder what could have changed in the past few days or weeks for them to have come out to say they've lost total confidence in him. Not too long we talked about Operation Shege Kafasa, and they were all out saying that if you let what's the one from the southeast now, Amatekun operator, we're going to establish ours. And so now they have also gone ahead to establish theirs. And so I wonder where the issue of losing confidence in the presidency what could have prompted them to have come out to say this?
Well, I think from their reasons, they cited what they call it. Most importantly to them was the security breakdown in the country. Like they felt that there is a security breakdown and that this security situation is getting worse by the day and all of that. So also economic woes of the country. These were just according in their own words, and a lot of other things that they felt that it wasn't really okay with the president.
Yeah, well, just like I said earlier, they had also rolled out the drums to say the presidency was doing very well in the areas of security and also just because maybe it's escalating and untamed.
And then we also know that we are never like this. The presidency is never shy.
Yes.
To respond to this sort of this. So immediately they came out to issue that and communicate. Then the presidency through Femi Adesina also replied the NEF saying that it does not have any credible membership, that it's just a paper tiger. Like you said, that it's a one-man show. And who is that one man? I think he was really referring to Ango Abdullahi. Mr. Professor Ango Abdullahi.
But I think he also said that whatever the paper tiger was, whatever noise the paper tiger was making was just trying to express the views and opinions of one man, and so it was not. The presidency does not consider it the views and opinion of the whole northern people or the northerners. Yes, and so I think Femi Adesina always comes
handling that. I think with that, we'll have to go across African continent, take what's happening in other African countries, and we know that as much as a lot is happening in Nigeria, we also know that a lot is also happening in other countries of Africa. And so, News Across Africa is up next, and we'll join you after that, or rather, join us after that. Well, it seems that it's taking a while for it to be ready. So okay, maybe while we wait for it to be ready, we'll just have to look at another one more story, which has to be that as part of its preparation ahead of the 2023 general elections, the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, has launched an initiative to reconcile its warring governance, also to be resolved are disagreements among aggrieved chieftains across the country, and I think that's a very good
welcome development. But I also think that it shouldn't be about the next election or trying to clinch victory in the next election, but for every time there's issues to be resolved or reconciliation issues to be dealt with within and outside the parties should always try to bring warring members together to avoid rancor and disheartened, because that's the crux of politics. I mean, democracy in our current environment, because the parties are the one that field in candidates. The parties are the one that bring up policies that run for the next for the 4 years that they are in power. So we don't want to have situation where the parties are always fighting and forgetting that the people that they are supposed to lead are the citizens and not just party
and then
members.
Again, when you look the fact that I think that this peace initiative that they're going about to reconcile members, it's a really good one, because when you look at political parties, one of their major focus is to win elections, contest elections and win elections. And so far so good. It seems that the PDP has been drowning, losing so much to the APC, and at one point in time it was claimed to be the biggest political party in Africa. So now it's been reduced to not even winning what they call it, elections consistently in the country. So I think they really want to go back, and then they are looking on to the former president, President Goodluck Jonathan. We really hope that whatever they are trying to do really turns out well for them.
And according to reports, part of their reconciliation procedure, they had approached the former president so there are rumors that they might field him in as their candidate, but
no, I don't think that would happen.
Rumors have it that the discussions have been on the table to see if he can be the person to liberate the party and represent the party at the 2023 election. So
2023 election is going to be very exciting. I believe, like exciting in the sense that I believe that before then we would have made progress with our electoral laws and reforms and whatever that is, so that by 2023 we're having a very free, fair and credible elections, And then with that, if those are done, then I'm very sure that we are really going to have a wonderful election. So we have been told that News Across Africa is ready, so we'll take you straight to Across Africa, and then we'll be back. News Across Africa is next. Office, Conde announced in a statement that the country will hold a two-day vote on March 1 for legislative election and a controversial constitutional referendum. The U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo posted on Twitter that America was concerned over Guinea's current plan to hold legislative elections and a constitutional referendum on March 1. A statement issued by the Department of State said the U.S. questions whether the process will be free, fair, and transparent and accurately reflect the will of eligible voters. It asks government to play by United Nations standards for voters' rules. African heads of state gathered Sunday at the headquarters of the African Union for a summit meeting due to focus on how the body can play a more prominent role in resolving conflicts across the continent.
Of Foreign Affairs and representatives discussed the theme of silencing the guns, which has been put forward by South Africa in order to create a conducive environment for Africa's development.
The two-day summit has taken as its theme silencing the guns, yet AU officials were aware of their failure to achieve the goal adopted in 2013 of ending all wars on Africa by 2020. In remarks to African foreign ministries ahead of the summit, AU Commission Chairman Moussa Faki Mahamat painted a bleak picture of the continent's security situation, citing extremist threats stretching from the Sahel to Somalia. Cameroon voted Sunday imposed, overshadowed by a partial opposition boycott and separatist violence that has displaced hundreds of thousands of people. Elections for the Central Africa's country's legislature and local council are taking place for the first time in 7 years after two postponements. They are unlikely to ruffle the enduring rule of President Paul Biya, one of the world's oldest and longest-serving leaders who has held a tight grip on power for 37 years of his 86 years. African leaders on Sunday condemned US President Trump's Mideast peace plan as illegitimate, taking advantage of an African Union summit to voice solidarity with the Palestinian cause. AU Commission Chairman Moussa Faki Mahamat told assembled heads of state that the plan unveiled in late January represented the obstinate violation of multiple United Nations and African Union resolutions. Trump's long-delayed peace proposals were immediately rejected by the Palestinians, who have boycotted his administration over its pro-Israel stance. The proposal include giving Israel the green light to annex settlements in the occupied West Bank, the largest part of the territories the Palestinians see as their future states. Gabon announced during the weekend that it was suspending access to its territory for all passengers from China in an attempt to prevent any contamination by the coronavirus. Gabonese government said in a statement that there is no reported cases of the virus recorded on the national territory. However, in view of the spread of this epidemic beyond the epicenter, the government has decided to raise the level of surveillance to suspend until further notice the access to the national territory of any passenger coming from China. Such a ban is likely to affect the Gabonese economy because thousands of Chinese work in the African country, particularly in oil, mineral, and timber exploitation, on which its revenues depend heavily, as well as construction and public works. Top brass of the Malawi Electoral Commission (MEC) came under parliamentary scrutiny following a constitutional court ruling annulling the May 2019 presidential polls. Now, the Parliament's Public Appointments Committee, led by Speaker Catherine Gotani Hara, met the commissioners to review the qualifications and competencies of the Gen Ansah-led body deemed to have bundled the votes. The Speaker, in address, said, "The Public Appointment Committee is the committee mandated to review the performance and conduct of public officials." The Speaker, in an address, said, "The Public Appointment Committee is the committee mandated to review the performance and conduct of public officials. They therefore individually review the conduct of the commissioners and render a verdict."
If the courts at any point say, can you stop this, we'll have to stop. So we are following what the courts are saying, and we will follow what further directions that can come from the courts.
Malawi's President Peter Mutharika rejected the Constitutional Court decision to overturn his re-election. He has also filed an appeal to right the wrong that the ruling made, with the MEC also filing a challenge as at Friday afternoon. That is the most that we have on News Across. And yes, that was News Across Africa on Daybreak Africa, as it's usually said. And then we saw the story from Gabon, where they are also taking measures against the deadly coronavirus.
Yes.
Yeah, so listen, Gabon has also joined the list of countries who have decided to ban anybody, flights and any passenger coming in from China.
And it's a welcome development because as it is, in as much as countries are taking measures, even countries that are not affected at the moment are taking measures to prevent any occurrence of the coronavirus, because people are coming in every now and then to transact business and not just for business, but people who travel, like we said the other time, for the lunar holiday are already returning. And so it's pertinent to note that countries should take proactive measures to prevent any infection in their countries.
Yeah, exactly, and I agree with that. And then that's also we also have to look at the story that came out from Malawi. So it's like the listen parliamentary or listen parliament.
Yeah.
They are basically looking at, they have called for the MEC, this Malawi Electoral Commission, to come and explain, because was it not last week Monday? Yes, the Supreme Court in the country annulled the presidential election of May 2019, and then listen, Peter Mutharika said no, that was in his schedule of justice, and that he's going ahead to go and appeal that election.
Yeah.
So this parliament are looking like, okay, you need to explain to us, how do you go about holding an election that fell below standard that the court had to annul? So you need to explain this, and then they are also going to evaluate her recent qualifications and all of our commissioners' qualification and all of that. I don't know if that's really a nice proactive step to take from the parliament.
I think the parliament are looking at a possible breach, preventing a possible breach, because for an election of that nature to be no, you need to ask questions as to why that got to that point. And I think it's a welcome development to probe into the issues. Maybe a lot may not come into play at the moment, and maybe changes or drastic changes may not be made, but it is important to find out what really happened and what can be done to change or prevent it from reoccurring some other time.
Exactly. So maybe we just have to look at another issue, and then that will be maybe going on straight to healthy living and see what healthy living is about. Every Monday, or rather every day of the program, we bring you health tips, how to keep your body well and moving. Yes, things that you should eat and things you shouldn't eat, things that you should do and things that you shouldn't do. But this time around, for a lot of people who perhaps have dry skin, or they are very particular about making their skin glow,
especially with regards to this Harmattan period.
Yes, and we know there are a lot of ladies who really want to see their skin glow. They're always thinking about, what can I use to make my skin glow? They just want to be shining and
to attract people like you.
Obviously, yes. Ladies that their skin glow really attracts me. So let's look at this, ladies and guys. This is for you. Let's see how to make our skin glow. Healthy living.
Welcome to another interesting episode of Healthy Living. Today, I will be talking on how to make your skin glow without spending a fortune. Your skin is the definition of wellness, beauty, and your overall outlook. Have you ever seen someone with great skin and just thought they have a lot of money to spend? Well, it is not everyone who has great skin that spends a fortune getting that. Some just have great genes and some are just dedicated to taking care of their skin. You need to know the basics and make sure you stick to them. The best part of this is that you need not do so much or spend so much either. Here are what you need to do. Drink lots of water. Dehydration is one thing that your skin can't deal with. Just like the organs in your body need water for optimum functionality, your skin also needs water. When you drink enough water, your skin looks healthier, moisture, and glows better. Although you need to drink lots of water, you must regulate it because drinking too much water could be fatal. To know how much water you need to take, listen to your body. Your daily routine will also help you to know how much water you need. If you are always out, you will need to take more water than someone who is always indoors. Have a daily skincare routine. Having a daily skincare routine goes a long way in making your skin glow better. You might not be able to afford spa treatments, but you can definitely do this effectively. Exfoliate once or twice a week to remove dead skin scars. Exfoliate once or twice a week to remove dead skin cells. You can use a scrub or a dye scrub, which won't cost you and still give you optimum results. Eat well, eat right. Your skin is majorly based on an inward-outward factor. What you eat actually determines how your outward look is and makes your skin better or otherwise. Eating a very balanced meal every time goes a long way in making your skin healthy and better. Avoid simple sugar like the ones found in soda, pastries, and basically processed foods and junk food. It is better to stick to whole foods and homemade meals. Ensure that you eat good fats like nuts, olive oil, avocado, flaxseed oil. Avoid bad fats like oils high in omega-6, which is totally not good for your overall health. Drink less caffeine, alcohol, and quit smoking. Alcohol and caffeine dehydrate the skin and your body. They have also been linked to an increase in acne. Try to avoid the consumption of these two and completely quit smoking. There is nothing good that comes out of it. Avoid the sun, which you should. Avoid chemical products and stick to natural products. If you can afford normal skincare products, because they are filled with lots of chemical products and that is harmful to your overall skin health. This is because they have chemicals like petroleum and sodium lauryl, sulfate, paraben. Get enough sleep. This one cannot be overemphasized. Sleeping is very good for the skin because the body is regenerating new cells and collagen, which is very good to help have a healthy and glowy skin. Yes, lack of sleep increases your stress hormones, which cause inflammation, and that is definitely not good for not only your skin but your overall health. Therefore, sleep well and rest well. Thanks for watching Healthy Living.
Well, definitely, I hope you got the tips of how to make your skin glow because I did. So probably maybe in the next few weeks, when you see me here, I'll be resplendent.
I laugh in English. I also saw something I'm very guilty of. I take a lot of coffee, and from the report, it seemed like it's not very good for my skin. And so maybe I'll begin to cut down on coffee and see how far that goes.
Maybe you should, but I don't think you don't look at somebody who wants a glowing skin, do you?
Who said that?
No, that's what
As
you
we
said.
speak, my skin is even glowing better than yours.
No, I can actually get. Initially, I always thought that if you want a glowing skin, you don't have to do anything. Rub ororo, coconut oil, and then you'll be shining.
Now you've finally told us from which village you are from.
Because that is what Aisha did to me. And that's why she's not here today. Because she knows the way to
for you.
Exactly. So that I'll be shining.
Alright, let's go to just last month we talked about President Muhammadu Buhari's daughter using one of the presidential jets for a personal assignment, and now we're hearing that a lawyer has dragged her to court. I don't know how that works. A lawyer has dragged her to court for what exactly, we don't know, but she's supposed to answer questions as to why she used the presidential jet for a personal assignment.
Well, and I think when this came out, a lot of people applauded this move, this initiative that a lawyer is going to sue the National President's daughter for that, because like we are beginning to wake up. People said that Nigerians are finally beginning to wake up to begin to ask and hold leaders accountable and all of that for action they take. But then there are other people that say, oh no, he's just an attention-seeking lawyer that of all things I can just pay, because at the end of the day, it is not as if you're going to get any justice and all of that. And even if you're going to get, or even the court is going to rule in your favor, who is there to obey the court's order
and implement whatever the court?
Yes. And then me on the other side, I was like, well, it's a good thing you're taking her to court in the event that you have judgment, and in the event that the presidency decides to obey that court order. From where do you think the money is going to be paid from? Probably still from Nigeria's ports. So he's basically fetching water from let's say River Niger and pouring into River Benue, and or vice versa.
And expecting that one of them grows.
Yeah, one of them grows.
But see, the thing again is beyond the issue, it is important to know that people are beginning to trust the legal system. People are beginning to have faith in the judiciary, and so for somebody to go to the judiciary to complain about a member or an extended member of the executive, it goes to show that he in some way believes that the court would say something that would benefit maybe him, or give a ruling that would be in favor of Nigerians at the end of the day.
Yes, and then the thing is, you can't keep the cases like this are what sometimes set the record, sets that this and precedent that other people get
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, initially before, people always believe that for you to have any protest, you need to get police permit. Police need to permit you and give you a permit before you hold that protest. But then, what happened to this current president when he was still vying for the presidency? Then they went on a protest. Tear gas was actually thrown at them, and his deputy, who is Chuba Okadibo, inhaled this gaseous gas, and he passed on as a result of that. And then they went to court, basically before he even passed on another day, and went to court to challenge that. Why do they need police permit? Why would police restrict their movement? And in the landmark judgment, the court said, you don't need police permit. And then that has become a standard all over in Nigeria. So there are cases like this. So maybe perhaps if he wins at the court, then it will set a record that okay, the president's family are restricted
from using. And then
government.
Sometimes it's just an interpretation. It could be that there's a section of the law that does not allow this or allows it. And then going to court now would even bring more light or bring more clarification to the issues. And then Nigerians will get to know better whether she was right or wrong even in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. we'll basically get to find out that later. And so we had to also move on to other issues.
Yeah.
So you were talking about
the Shakao. Sometimes I find it difficult to pronounce his name.
Abubakar Shakao.
Talking about the insecurities and all the complaints that have come. The thing is, courts. Somebody said a court of public opinion, where everybody has a say and everybody feels that if put in a particular situation would do better than whoever is in the place of authority at the moment. Now we went out to ask Nigerians, what will you do if Shakao, the founder and head of the Boko Haram group, if he's been arrested and handed over to you, what will you do? Okay, so what will you do?
Well, if it's handed over to me, okay, I think what I just need to do is try as much as possible to get more information from him of how we can finally end this thing. Basically these guys have cells across this northern region, northeast region. So probably let's know the locations of these cells. Let's know the real life source of these cells, and so we know where to cut them out and where to. So I think that is the best thing that I'm
going to find out from him who exactly are their sponsors, and so that Nigerians can know who has been their troubles and problem all this while.
Exactly.
But that's your opinion and my opinion. Let's go and look
so
at the
special.
special.
So are you taking my opinion as your opinion?
No, I'm supporting you on your opinion.
All right, so we'll have to head out to the street and let's hear what Nigerians say. And then don't forget, you watching at home, you can also leave your comments right at the comment section, and we are going to read out these comments basically. Yeah. And let's see what you also think about Shekau. If it's handed over to you, what will you do? Let us know in the comment section. But for now, let's hear what the people in the street of Abuja have to say.
In an international report, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, said 90% of Boko Haram victims are Muslims. Since then, the statement has been generating mixed reactions. Now, let's find out what Nigerians are talking.
Because the bone of contention here shouldn't be whether Muslims or Christians.
Still on the security matters, if the Nigerian army captures Shekau and hands him over to you, what exactly will you do to him?
Yeah, if anyone hand over Shekau to me, the first thing I'm going to do is just to ask him his sponsors and those that have been of help to him. After then he will have to face the wrath of the law of the land, and that's it.
You will do what?
I'll praise the military.
And what is that going to do to him?
To the Shekau. I'll kill him. I'll cut him meat.
But what I can do is I can kill him, but it's not the right thing. We have to source some information from him before we kill him.
I'll bomb his ass to oblivion, of course.
He should be taken to a court, then tried, and whatever decision the court comes up with, that's all.
They don't need to hand over it to anybody. They just kill him straight down. That's all.
He should be in prison for life.
In prison for life?
If possible, death sentence.
If Shekau has been arrested by a Nigerian army, if I'm be the one in the position, I will not kill him, but I will interrogate him by investigating who is his gang leader and who is sponsoring him.
I just want to talk like a thief man. If I see that guy, if nigga with that guy, I'll kill him.
We hope that the military captures Shekau soon. You can still drop your comments below. Peggy Shandy, TVN.
Those were some really interesting comments from Nigerians. Well, a lot of people are saying they will kill him.
Yeah, especially the other guy that said, the way he said, I'll kill him. It's like he has a personal...
It's a decision that is planned and waiting to be executed.
Definitely.
But I like also the fact, the people who mentioned that it would be nice to get information from him, get his sponsors, get what really is driving him, and then probably hand him over to the security agencies to do...
Yeah, because I think that is...
the right thing.
That is the right thing to do, the best thing to do.
Even the guy that said that is the right thing to do still said, but they would have killed.
Yes, and then you find out that people I think Nigerians are really take it personal when one particular person runs a group that just goes ahead
and just causes untold hardship on Nigerians. And you see, the security issue in Nigeria really became skyrocketed with the introduction of Boko Haram into the system, and so one cannot but understand why Nigerians are reacting the way they are reacting, especially with regards to the Shekau himself.
And so we actually ask that you drop your comments, and so we'll be taking this comment from those people that have sent it in. And this one here is from Queen Holamide. She said, it's easy for the military to capture him, but my question is, are the government ready to allow the military personnel to do their job? Even though you kill Shekau, does that mean Boko Haram is... does that mean less than Boko Haram has ended? I think that's what she was trying to say.
So
and that's from it's Queen Olamide. I think that's a question that a lot of people we find answers to. And then the next comment here is from Benedict Ukwebo. Find out the purpose of his mission, the secret why he is fighting, what does he want, and who are behind his mission. I think that's
really a really good one.
But then I think they have always said the reason why they are fighting.
But
they are adverse to Western
education.
And
but in recent times, not just in recent times, not too long after that declaration about being averse to Western education, we find that their missions or their executions of their acts have not really been towards the Western education, because I don't understand why people are being bombed in the market. How does that oppose to Western education?
So I think that's the reason why this guy really asks the question, like, let's find out their real mission.
Yes.
Why they are fighting
and
the secret.
not about education
Yes. And the next comment is from Ugochukwu Nav. He said, I will try to get the necessary information I need about his sponsor. Then anybody found guilty with him will be burnt alive with him.
Well, that's jungle justice.
All right, the guy's not taking it. Likely he doesn't want to hear.
But most importantly is getting information from him, finding out his sponsors, and for him not facing the law but facing jungle justice at the end.
So here's from Ernest Shipper. I hope I got that right. Time is over for him to be handed so long. Okay, that's from Ernest, and he left that with a smiling emoji or a laughing emoji rather. So I think he was just being mysterious. And the next comment here is from Durotimi John. Durotimi say, he shake out the issue. Osama bin Laden was killed, and that didn't stop Al-Qaeda. There are also neither information one may want to extract from him that the military or government did not know. If they claim they didn't know, then the entire military intelligence unit is moribund. We are just being fooled.
Okay, that's well. But the point he made, I don't want to go into details of all the other things. But the point he made is beyond the person.
Yes.
Arresting the person and even justice being meted to Shakaru as a person. How does that flow down? Because not too long ago we heard that there were even factions within Boko Haram.
Boko Haram and ISWAP.
So I think, but most importantly is that if information is gathered and made to help with stopping them totally.
And also I agree with him on the point that killing this Shaka will really stop the reason, because you know that before now, I think about three times they have claimed that no, not even arrest, to be killed. We even saw pictures in the front page of the newspapers that were released to the press that said this was the body of Shekau being killed, and then you look at everything. But then each time he keeps coming back to life and all of that. So we don't know if he has clones
or he reincarnates after.
Or he reincarnates after a while.
Like the Terminator, you kill him and he resurrects.
So I agree with him that killing him will really stop the whole insurgency, because I believe that this is what I keep saying, that the military, they are doing so much. They are taking training, they have put in the effort, put life, lost personnel in this fight against insurgency. But I always see that as much, I don't really think that this is something that is going to end anytime soon with military mind, because this is an ideology. Just last week, we got reports of a cop member who was kidnapped by Boko Haram, and when they went there to negotiate for his release, he said he doesn't want to come back. So he has now become a member of Boko Haram, a bona fide member of Boko Haram, carrying out his activity. What is so attractive? What did they tell him? What did he see in the camp that really make him want to join? So the thing is, like he said, Osama bin Laden was killed, but Al-Qaeda is there. And then don't forget that U.S. military, the strongest military in the world, have been in Iraq and Afghanistan fighting Al-Qaeda, but up to today, Al-Qaeda is still there. The Taliban are still there. So it's like the ideology. So now I'm like, can we, while we are approaching this with all our military mind, can we also approach it from the angle of ideology to dissuade these people from whatever ideology that they have believed? Because at the end of the day, let's take for example now, that's a religion, it's an ideology to say. So many years after the death of Jesus Christ, many years after the death of Muhammad, we still find more followers every day.
People believe in their ideology.
Yes, people who maybe were unbelievers are becoming believers in less than either of the religions. So they are following. So the idea is already planted. So sometimes removing the one person. So sometimes I think even those that killed Jesus felt that if they take him out of the picture,
the movement would have ended.
It is the reason why when I was reading the book Less Than 48 Laws of Power, I disagree with this Robert Greene when he said, "Strike the shepherd and the sheep
will scatter."
Yes, the flock will scatter. I'm like, no. It's unless that shepherd does not, like the people do not draw from the shepherd. Like he does not plant this idea in them. That is when you strike the shepherd, then the flock, then the sheep can just.
You're really going
scatter.
spiritual.
No, I'm not going spiritual. No, I'm talking about this now because it's actually an idea. The thing is, people have companies they die off,
and the companies
go because an idea is there. So I really agree with this last person, Timmy John, on just that particular first point that he made, that we killing him really stop. So we really need to find, and then I also agree with other people that say, let's find the sponsors, let's find their mission. I think if you get the mission and reason why they are fighting, then it will also help you to counter.
Even if it's an ideology, now you know exactly what ideology you are
and then how you can counter that ideology. Okay. Anyway, thanks for the comment, and for those who still sending the comments, okay, there's one more here from Onifade Olatubosun, and he said I will cut off his throat. All right, so that's just it. Thank you all for sending in the comments, and so maybe we'll just move on to another issue that really
from front burner.
Yes, and that is a political pressure group in Niger Delta Youth Coalition has called for legislation that will enthrone political zoning systems and power rotation as part of the country's law. National coordinator of the group, Mr. Emmanuel Ogba, made the call on Saturday in Port Harcourt. What do you think about that?
Well, we said that the zoning system is gradually becoming a part of Nigerian politics, even though it's a creation of one political party and adopted by another. Yes. A lot of other political parties are beginning to accept the zoning as a more suitable system of distributing power amongst its members. But now, Mr. Emmanuel is saying that it should become a law, not just enshrined in the constitution, and not just what political party, a gentleman agreement within political parties. And already we have the federal character within the federal, the civil service and every other sphere of the federation. But being enshrined in the constitution is what he's saying, that the zoning system, which I think would help with some of the issues that we have when we had issues of the northwest, the south west coming to say that it was their turn to rule,
and the
southeast as well. So I think it is important that if it has been accepted generally, then it should be enshrined in the constitution and the laws of the land, so that you know exactly that failure to do so is breaking the law.
Well, I think that sounds very, very interesting, very enticing to want to adopt and all of that. But at the same time, you are going to have people argument. So let me try and make argument on those who are going to oppose this. And the fact that let's say for example, we have somebody who is very good. So we have somebody like Akinwumi Adesina that everybody thinks will make a very good president. But then we have it in the constitution that it's until like the Southeast have done their term of 8 years maximum. The Northwest have done theirs, Northeast have done theirs, North Central have done theirs, Southeast have done theirs. So you have to wait for 20 years before we finally now have to look into the area of Akinwumi Adesina, whether he should become president. That's 20 years, adding to his current age, age will no longer be on his side. So we have to wait for 20 years before we really get somebody who really wants to become a president, And then you also have to look at the fact that the Northeast and Northwest, by culture, language, tradition, religion, they are not that much difference. Unlike what you have in the southern part, where you have the Southwest, Southeast, South, where different people with different culture, different languages, and sometimes different religions as well. So even like when you find the Northwest and Northeast to do their term, following each other, some also feel like maybe it's cheating that where the North are also having a long run.
Oh, but in the end, just lending a voice to your first point is the fact that for every section of the country, for every zone, for every you will definitely find somebody. So if just like you mentioned, Akim Wumi, right?
Yes, Akim Adesina.
It's not for every time. By the time 20 years after it becomes becomes their turn, they will definitely still find somebody. I'm not sure he's an island on its own. Yes. So that has been the argument with what a lot of Northerners were saying, that it's more making it look like it was their right. It's always somebody for every zone that can represent.
Again, when you now look at it for the fact that maybe at the end of the day, you now look at the fact that, okay, every region is going to have their president at a particular point in time. It's guaranteed for you for this region to have.
You can
what
prepare.
If you can prepare, agree to that, and then when you now have a president from this particular region, and while he's president, he focuses
on that region.
Yes.
No, I think those are going to be.
And the fact of consolidating powers and all of that, and then when you get to that session, you say, okay, when you people had your turn, we did this, so we have to do our own back. And in fact, we've not even had that yet, and then we have not had that arrangement yet, but already we are experiencing that. Each time something maybe basically happens in this administration, people say, oh, it also happened in the previous administration. You people did not shout. So why are you shouting?
But I also think that because it's an ongoing discussion, all the loopholes and all the areas that need fine-tuning will be put in place even before.
I also think that it's a good idea, so that every region is guaranteed
a position.
That at least once in 20 years you get to.
Now that you're making it sound once in 20 years, it really sounds like a long time. but at least you're guaranteed that at the end
in your region,
it's
just that some people who feel that they have the best chance of becoming president in the nearest future might not be one that they would like. What have to wait for 20 years?
And then maybe after that discussion is settled, we'll now have the discussion of which region now begins the process.
See, pardon me, I'm even saying 20 years. It's actually more than that, 40 years. Because you have to wait for like
2 terms of each of
8
the
years,
zones.
and 8 times 5 is 40, so you have to wait for 40 years. So now that should even make it more scary. Alright, so we want to move on. And we're talking about the lesson coronavirus that has actually, as of yesterday, about 811 people have died from the virus. And it seems that China might be having a superhero. And where else would the superhero come from if not Nigeria?
I feel like I'm wondering why I wore a white. I wore green, white, green. So that
exactly.
I'm proud to be a Nigerian.
Yeah, because one of our Nigerian brothers studying in Nanjing University of Science and Technology has shown support to the Chinese government to help combat the deadly coronavirus in the little way that he can.
Yes.
So he's volunteering.
And then bringing science and technology into play to help combat the coronavirus. But beyond the coronavirus is the fact that Nigerians are doing very well in every sphere of life and in every country and every continent that they find themselves. And one cannot but help that, notice that if as Nigerians we are doing so well outside, why do we have such limitations when it is now, when we are the ones that now wear the shoe? But notwithstanding, our brother is doing us very well, and I'm sure that at the end of it all, his contribution will not go unnoticed.
Yeah, and basically and for him to come out and show that support is like he's not afraid of the virus.
Yeah.
He feels like I have this thing in me that I can maybe contribute less anywhere, because at the end of the day, it's not only the Chinese people that are
being affected. Yes,
it's been all over the world, and people are really.
And moreover, it's not only Chinese people that are in China, so other nationalities are also there. And if they are going to be affected, everybody will.
And then if he does this, if he goes ahead to really give that support and make it done, then he's also going to be in the league of people like Dr. Bennett Omalu, yes, who trade the place, or who created a new record in the Nigerian football. Nigeria, this National Football League in the US, NFL. Yes, and a movie was made of him, Concussion.
Yes,
acted by Will Smith. Yes, so that and then talking about Omalu, at a point, when that movie was being made about him, he was paid royalties and all of that. And then one of the first things he did with the money was go and get a very big house to stay. And the president of some doctors' association in the US were lamenting, why will you go and get such a big house to stay? And then he was like, his reply was very classic. He said, I did not come all the way from Nigeria to US, study to get 3 degrees, less than doctorate degrees, practice all day and night just so that I could sleep under the bridge. So I have a house. And then also, if he also goes away to get this medicine about the coronavirus, he's also going to join the league of Aliyu. Aliyu was the car designer that designed most of the cars for less than Chevrolet. One of those beautiful cars from Chevrolet were designed by Nigeria. And he was brought back home. He was brought back home to head a particular agency in Nigeria that has to do with automobile and the science and technology ministry.
Can I remember the details?
Yeah. It was brought back, but then we haven't really seen much of what he does. And then that's what we were saying. How do they prosper outside and then we come back
home? All the limiting factors and all the things that keep you from expressing.
And I think it's just that we are not really that people that really embrace. We don't really want to have these sort of changes that we want to change.
And that's why we're still using papers in office.
Yeah, and then somebody mentioned something during the weekend and they said the Americans, the Europeans went to colonize India. India accepted their technology but rejected their mode of dressing, culture and food. They went to China to colonize China. China accepted their technology but rejected their language, culture, dressing, and what have you. But when it came to Nigeria, we rejected technology and accepted
their mode of dressing.
Yes, and culture.
And every other thing else.
All right. So,
talking about culture, right? Let's go over to heritage.
Yes.
I think there's
Fulani traditional marriage.
At least they did not accept everything in totality from the colonial master, so they still have some of their traditions. So let's go.
So, like for those people who really want to marry from that side, we all agree. Like, I always had this like Fulani girls are very beautiful. I would love to marry from Fulani ethnic group. But then when I heard that you'd be lashed in public, and if you cry, then you're not man enough to
marry
so
from
them. I was not having second thought.
So you don't have the guts to stand and fight for your love and take the pains. How will you defend her when you finally get married to her?
So what if I die before I get married to her? I've been flogged. So I shifted my attention away from Fulani. But maybe after watching this, I might be convinced. Who knows? So let's look at the Fulani traditional culture, and this is part of an amazing Africa. Our culture is amazing. So let's see how amazing is the Fulani culture and their traditional marriage. How is it like?
Fulani or Fula is a tribe of people found in Nigeria, Guinea, Mali, Niger, and several other African countries. There are up to 25 million Fulanis, if not more, across the globe. Welcome to another episode of your favorite program, Heritage on Television Nigeria. And it's your favorite girl, Idris Benila. Today, I'm taking you to the northern part of our great nation, Nigeria, to discuss the Fulani traditional marriage. And to understand this better, I have a beautiful Fulani damsel here who knows so much about this tradition. In case you have been planning on marrying a Fulani man or woman, this is for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back. In most cases, Fulanis marry according to their own caste system, which is made up of nobles, blacksmiths, business people, and slaves. A Fulani man can have up to 4 wives and usually marry from their own tribe. Distant cousins can be married, or most times family friends. So now it's time to meet my guest, Aisha Issa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, do cousins really marry themselves in the Fulani tradition?
Well, it's not the tradition that says, okay, cousins should marry their own family members or whatever. So, we Fulanis marry from outside, and from Yola that I know. So we don't even marry our cousins. I have families that they are married to Hausa, they are married to different types of tribe, not only Fulani. So it's not the tradition that says.
So help us understand this Fulani caste system.
Well, we have different types of Fulanis, and then every Fulani has his own types of how they do their own things. Like Adama's own, you find their own Fulanis. The way they do their own tradition is different than Fulani that you meet in Katsina or you meet in Kano. So we don't have a specific tradition that says, okay, you should marry our cousins.
Oh.
We don't.
Okay. So their wedding has 3 basic stages. The first marriage is known as Shoro. In this stage, the man has to be whipped in public where a large crowd gathers to observe the events. If the man cries, he will not be allowed to get married to the lady. But in some Fulani communities, this tradition does not exist. Now my question is, what is the essence of the Shoro tradition? Must the man be flogged?
No, Shoro tradition is for the Bororoji. It's not for Fulanis. Bororojis are the Fulanis that are inside
the bush.
Yes, the one that has cattle moving from one place to another. So it's not the Fulanis, it's the Bororojis that do the Shoro tradition.
Okay, so it's one in the bush that practice the Shoro tradition.
Yes, and even that Shoro tradition was then, not now.
I was wondering how a very handsome, good-looking man will be flogged in public just to marry a wife.
No, they don't do it. I don't think they do it now.
The second stage is called. This stage is the main one. The bride's father visits the groom's family. He brings a dowry which includes cattle. The groom then gives some presents to the bride, also known as bride's price. The groom is also expected to show his father-in-law that he is capable of taking care of the cattle. What is the essence of showing capability of taking care of the cattle?
They really care about their cattle. So, as someone that you come and marry their own daughter, of course you have to know how to take care of the cattle because you might come and help them with their cattle or anything. So it's not for the Fulanis, it's for the Bororojis.
So this whole Fulani thing is just the Bororojis and the town Fulani, their tradition is quite different from each other.
Yes.
Wow. And that's all we have for you today on this beautiful episode of Heritage. Please don't forget to check us out on our social media handle tvn.news, Television Nigeria on Twitter and Facebook, and our YouTube channel. Kindly subscribe, like, and share. Until then, I remain Idris Jamila.
All right, thank you, and that was Amazing Africa, or rather, that was Heritage,
yes.
Talking about the Fulani traditional marriage and culture. And then I think now I have to renew my interest back in how I'm going to maybe marry a Fulani, because they said they have stopped. Even those. In fact, I even got to learn a lot from it that there were actually 2 types of Fulani people. And tribe, I mean, there are 2 types of Fulani people that have a caste system, and then the ones that used to flog people are the ones that are in the bush.
Yeah.
And even those ones have actually stopped. Maybe finally they have learned that it's actually harmful.
Or maybe they finally killed a very interesting potential host in-law.
Oh, and then they thought about, okay, no, how to end this.
No, but we have to insist that in your own case, just to test the fact that, to test your...
The only person I can do that for, take 100 lashes of cane for, is Priscilla, if she's going to make her secret Fulani.
No, but even if she's not Fulani, whatever culture she comes from, I would insist that will be part of, that is included.
It's actually weird that you're talking about me like I'm not here.
Well, I wasn't seeing you initially.
But just so you know, I'm partly Fulani.
Oh.
My father's mom is Fulani and my mom is from Bauchi, so I have some Fulani blood.
Yeah, very far away Fulani. She's a very far away Fulani.
No, she's not very far away. Somehow, we'll have to bring that culture when Victor comes to ask him.
Like, look at all this. This is like Fulani.
It's Fulanish.
Yeah.
Okay, Priscilla, it's nice to have you back.
Yes, definitely.
And then you'll be bringing, it's nice that you'll be bringing back the entertainment gossip that we probably missed.
And she would have gathered a lot of entertainment because a lot has happened in the entertainment industry of late. And so, unleash.
Yes, first off, this one is serious gossip. Like, no jokes, it's gossip all the way. So Idris Abdulkarim has been allegedly arrested for assaulting his landlord. Okay, so the whole situation was that before they said that he was owing some kind of NEPA bill, and eventually he went to his landlord's house and beat the guy up. He also said that the landlord actually has been making some moves on his wife. So yes, there's that part too. So yeah, the whole thing is crazy. And there's also been, reports that landlord has actually sexually assaulted a tenant before. So yes, there's this. But they were saying that it's because of the NEPA bill that our Idris went to go and fight. But people are now saying that why will he fight because of NEPA bill when they are saying that the man is making advances at his wife? Is that not a better reason to fight? Would you agree?
And maybe probably I'm not agreeing to the rumors. I'm not saying that probably he got an opportunity. Since the other one was a rumor and was not found, there was no details to it. He just used the NEPA bill as a cover-up to vent his anger
on other issues.
Yeah.
Arrested for that, allegedly. Let's stick to the alleged claims.
Okay,
but it wasn't that Idris had been somebody that never really backs down.
Yeah.
In fact, Idris, that sort of person
and
that
the landlord was actually saying something like this man is very dangerous. When he says something, he will do it.
Of course.
So the landlord is scared.
The landlord should have known the kind of tenant he has.
Yeah, somebody tried anything.
Yeah, because this was somebody that had the guts
to even challenge former president Olusegun Obasanjo.
And after then challenge and fought 50 Cent, a foreign artist who was like a guest artist in Nigeria, for him, because we're like, why would he be given a first class treatment and we, the Nigerian artists that we run the show in Nigeria here, will be given the same? I said, no, I'm not going to take that. Where 50 Cent is sitting is where I'm going to sit.
And the landlord did not have details about this. So he should have known.
No, sometimes when you can, like, it's Idris, you'll be so nice. You feel it's so nice to have a celebrity as your tenant in your house and all of that.
Well, just so you guys know, my dad and Idris grew up together.
Aww.
Congratulations.
So maybe you should get Idris on this show and let's ask him if this is true.
They grew up together. Now they have grown up. So we're past that. So let's just move on.
They still have contact though.
Exactly. You don't know that. This life is not like that though. We all separate. 20 friends cannot play for 20 years. Have you heard that?
But 20 friends can do business for 20 years.
No. One of them or two of them. You not heard that song. Maybe two, maybe three. Later we come.
But have you watched this movie called Tag?
I've watched Tag. Now that is definitely a very good way to stay connected to your friends.
Hello, we're still here. I'm still here too.
Okay. Let's just drop it. Let's move on to the very next story. Okay, so Nigerian artist T Classic has been signed to Sony Music West Africa. This is actually a big deal for him. He was, he has been doing very well in his career, and he was actually signed to the record label in 2017, and now he has been signed to Sony Music West Africa, and they said that they are going to gear all of their resources to make sure to help the artist to grow in his line of work and his music and his talent and everything, and that's really, really beautiful. You guys know T Classic now.
Yeah.
And this is beyond that. I was trying to remember what other song he had done, but then that does not take the talent that he has.
He actually has a couple, but Nobody Find Past You is like the biggest. That's his biggest hit, and I love that song any day, anytime.
Yeah. At the point I was sort of disappointed. Why? Not in him, but for the fact that, because at the time that he was really bubbling with that song, Let Nobody Find Past You, that was when we also had J-Boy with Baby, and then this other boy.
A lot of competition.
Fireboy too with whatever. So I think at that moment, then there was also Crayon. At that same period, they were all doing so well, and Rema. So we thought that these are the guys, the new guys. But all of a sudden, I stopped hearing about T Classic.
T Classic, yes, it's
and
annoying.
the guy is
but
amazing.
I hope right now with this new signing,
it's really good.
And probably that is why he went silent for a while, because there was not a managerial team to help boost and drive
but the thing is, there's actually news that he's going to be dropping an EP later this month.
Which is a good way to start.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. So
yeah. I hope it's as classic as.
No, he's a classic.
Yeah,
that's why his name is T Classic. Yeah. And there was something somebody was saying, and I find that sometimes some musicians, the name they bear really tears on the kind of music and the
do.
style of music that they do. So when you look
Well,
like he said, Fireboy, like really the boy is on fire.
And then there's Joe Boy, and he's a lot like Fireboy. Yeah, both boys.
Yeah.
And then there's Rema, who is also a boy.
Yeah.
The only person I've never really understood his way is basically that Rema. I've not really understood what.
I think Rema is like new wave, new school, new everything. You know.
We are old school.
Yes, you guys are
Next
old
story.
school.
She understands that better than
Now, speaking of somebody that is a big deal, it's Olamide. So, it's already past 9, and before now, we've heard that he's going to be dropping his 999 album by 9 o'clock today. So, yes, a lot of people have been talking about it. In 2019, he did not really do that much. Not like normally Olamide has tons of hits and all, but in 2019, not really that much. But now, he's dropping an album, and we're expecting so much. So, yes, Olamide's album. Thoughts? We've not heard the album, Sha.
Yes, but then I also believe that it's going to be something, like you said, last year, 2019, he didn't have that much, but then he also had hits. And this is somebody that since he came out with his first single, Eniduro, consistently, he has been dropping hit every year.
And ID Kabasa has a lot to say, a lot of good things to say about him. He said when he actually met Olamide, he was 14. And that when he met him and he just did a freestyle in the studio that he just knew there was something about this guy. I feel like a lot of times you can spot potential and you can spot stardom. Like me, you guys know that I have that
Fulanish stardom.
Not the Fulani things. It's like, you know, even though Victor is a hitter, and
I
he's
noticed.
not going to agree.
I know a lot about Victor in that angle. Not too long ago, he threw shades at Aisha, and now you're here and. I know. You don't need to remind me. I know. I know Victor.
Speaking of shade, it's a little bit shady right now. But then there's this new reality TV series out now, and it's about love, finding love, and all of that. I'm sure you guys have heard.
Ultimate Love Show.
Yes, and we're all wondering why we're having another one when technically BB Nigeria is about that.
No.
I think there's no need for this one. Because BB
I
Nigeria
think
is technically about love. Because that's what they do in the house.
No, I think it became about some sort of love.
Because
moreover, locking grown-up men and women in one space can spark up anything. But this one is being more intentional. Even before the coming, some of the people that fell in love in Big Brother Nigeria did not plan to. But
so they plan. So you must find love.
Or probably you're coming with the intention to find love. I don't know what this series is
I don't
about.
really know. I think we're just going to have another BB Nigeria, honestly. And to still not be able to compete with BB Nigeria.
Yeah, obviously.
BB Nigeria is not even just BB Nigeria. They had Big Brother Africa. Now, you know, so they had a lot of time to plan, to prepare, to grow. I don't really know.
These guys also have time to prepare, to plan, and to grow.
Because
they have been planning this show for like, I think the first time I heard whims about it, but about 4 months ago.
4 months is not that much time.
No, like that is
about
when
years of planning and experience.
This is when they finally.
Yes, and experience. I think experience is what stands Big Brother out because they are just starting. So they also need.
What is experience?
Experience of having staged this show for some years, and experience of
knowing
coming.
How to spice it up,
and knowing what to do and what the people want. This is a new show that is going to come up and test the waters and see how what people, and then maybe subsequently get better at it. I think that's basically.
I think Victor is not.
He's not buying it.
I get what you're saying. That's why I'm not commenting on it again.
Okay.
But I think that even the first episode is going to be fantastic.
I think you're one of those people. You're saying the first episode is going to be fantastic because you have plans to go on the second episode.
I'll find love.
Yes.
Because he has found out
that. We all know
that
you have been searching. You're the one who's searching. Searching for so long.
Alright.
Well, that's about it for entertainment news today.
Oh, that's short. But anyway, I have to go back to Olamide because I can't get enough of that guy. And I really like the fact that he's going to bring out an album, so I'm going to be looking forward to that album.
The album should be out. They said 9 a.m. So right after this, I'm going to find
look at the album. Yeah.
Listen.
Definitely.
At
I
some
hope
point
you will be looking for the free download site. Get it on iTunes. pay money for it.
Yes, pay money for the music that our artists bring out, because here in Nigeria, a lot of people need money in their lives, especially now. And you'll be doing very well if you're paying for the songs and not just downloading it for free.
I'm even trying to remember there was a particular year he dropped 2 albums in 1 year. I'm trying to remember what year that really was, and it was why that was so less than phenomenal was like the previous year he had dropped an album. I think that was the year he dropped Eyo Mayweather. Yes, in that year, and then the following year.
You're losing
Press is gone.
No, actually, but what I'm trying to say, I thought that was very phenomenal. That in the previous year you had an album, at the beginning of the following year you had an album, and towards the middle of the year you also have an album, and everyone
was a smash.
Okay, I think
Olamide is a legend. Let's not take it away from him.
At some point, I was
I
worried
think that was
about.
2015.
I was worried if Zlatan and what's this other one? Naira Marley were coming to shake up things for Olamide, because at some point their kind of music was what they were also doing. So I thought, but with this new album, I'm sure he's showing himself the giant that he is and the legend that he is.
Yeah, definitely. So, Prissy,
I know you don't want me to go. I just know that.
And he was even expecting more. I think.
Yeah, no, but I don't understand why do people feel so important about themselves.
Both of you have to register for Ultimate Love coming out, just so that we get this all dusted with. Because I'm tired of this drama. I can't wait to have my Aisha back so that I have somebody.
Okay.
All right, talking about love and all that. Let's go to the streets and hear what people's opinion are about love and respect.
Which would you? But maybe before we go to the people saying that, I'll ask you, love or respect, which do you?
You should have asked her that before now.
Excuse me, I'm asking her.
Okay, truth be told, I cannot love somebody that does not respect you. So I feel like they go hand in hand. I just blew your mind.
No. You didn't. No, because I'm trying to process what you say.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to make meaning of what you said.
Yes, I cannot love somebody that doesn't respect me.
So how possible?
Chairman, love and respect goes hand in hand. She cannot love who does not respect her.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
We are asking love or respect.
Which is more important?
But she chose both.
No, me, I'm saying I cannot love somebody that doesn't respect me. So let's start with respect, then we'll go to love.
Then you grow into love
All right. So that is just our opinion, even though I think it's not really dope. Because I think that love is more important, because somebody who loves you will surely respect you.
They were saying the same thing.
Now,
he
just used both words.
But we've had people who were in love and still abused.
They were never in love.
Okay.
They were never in love.
I think we should go and listen to what the people have to say.
All right, so
Victor is getting it really twisted now.
No, you guys.
I think maybe your
understand.
presence is causing all this.
You guys don't understand this thing. You guys don't understand this thing. But anyway, let's go to the street of Abuja, precisely, and see what the people say. What their preference are, love or respect.
First of all, let me say aspects. I would prefer respect, because respect covers respect covers love. If I'm in a relationship with someone, at least once I'm respected by that person, the love itself will come from it. Because once I'm not respected from the person, or someone the person doesn't respect me, or I don't have respect for the person, I can't possibly love someone I don't respect, because if I don't respect you, definitely I could be doing something wrong, or I could just be behaving anyhow in that aspect. So at least I have to respect you. I have to show respect to the person, no matter what it is. Then love comes in.
You know, respect and love, they go concomitantly.
Some people say she loves me, but she don't respect me.
Love is everything. Love is everything. That's why even in the Bible, God himself said, God loved us. That's why he gave us his only begotten son. Is that right? So love is everything. Love is deep affection. To mean if a woman loves you, that woman must be submissive to you. What is the meaning of submissiveness? Respect. God say, wives, submit yourselves unto your husband, and husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. So love, to me, I prefer love in marriage to respect, because love, of course, brings respect. What God said is a standing sure word, that women love your husbands, respect your husband, be submissive, and the husband, we must as well love our wives. So to me, I can tell you outrightly without fear of the unknown that love is everything. Love conquers all.
The two goes together, but personal, I think love is the most important thing. When you have love, you have every other thing.
But what if there are some people in a marriage, their wife don't respect them, but they love them?
It depends how you treat your house. If you train your wife the way you want it, that is how you want she to respect you. That is how she will go. For me, love first. And when you have love, you have every other thing. There will be respect, because I can't harm you if I love you. I can't treat you bad. What happened in the world now is different. If I love you, I won't kill you. When there is no love, anything can go.
Hi, that is a strong word, because the two of them say, you know, that, you know,
choose one.
You know, say that respect. You still get love inside.
Yeah.
Hi, I'll first collect love first. So.
Why you collect
Why? Because
love?
anytime green light now, if go where that is now, you go use and cover up. Oh yes, you know.
Respect covers everything. If someone respects you, even in your absence, you understand, it will not do something that will not that will be against your interests. But love changes with time. It's not permanent.
No, I mean, okay, I think I'll choose love because with love, it comes with respect, it comes with so many things.
I think to respect me. Once she respects you, she will love you. Are you sure? Yeah. Are you sure? Yes.
Basically, in a relationship, you need to love each other, yeah? So you love your spouse and vice versa. But then love is not enough, because love is not concrete. What happens when you do something that upsets the love? It goes away. And then what keeps the relationship going? The respect. And then the respect has to be mutual. I respect you as a person, you respect me as a person. I understand that, okay, there's a limit I'm not supposed to, extend. And then you understand the same thing. So then basically in a relationship, you need to love and respect your partner. Which one do I prefer most? Ultimately, I would say they are like, can you stay for 5 days without eating? It's not possible. So like you need food, you need water. You can't say I'll eat food and not drink water. And you can't say I'll drink water and not eat food. Do you understand? You need both of them to, so then they go together.
Bros, I prefer respect.
Why respect? Why do you choose respect?
Because of love of nowadays, man. If no respect, guy, the love not gonna move. Understand? Another kind of thing now. Respect is the most powerful. Powerful thing. Understand? Love that can make love to be strong. Understand? The main thing is that if a couples are in love, understand, and they have respect to each other, that love, understand, will make that respect will make the love to be stronger. Understand? Respect is more than love. Understand? That's what we need. Yeah.
Please, can you explain what he said?
I can't explain.
Okay, I prefer love because there is no love without respect. So you can't be in a relationship with somebody and you love the person. Love comes with everything. Love comes with care, comes with attention, comes with respect, comes with money.
Hi, thank you, and welcome back from that short clip of people expressing what they really want. And while we were away watching that clip, I'll try to explain to these two gentle people here exactly what I meant, and then they agreed with me. They later found out that I was making more sense than they actually thought I was.
This is a false allegation.
With you.
Who agreed?
And you did not explain anything to us.
I explained. You agree with me that yes, with love comes every other thing.
I think this is fake news.
Fake news.
And you should be arrested.
So right on set, you are trying to make me feel bad and then deny every other thing. No, but then actually, the truth of the matter was that I try to explain to them that with love comes every other thing. Somebody will definitely respect you. She says one way to get her heart is somebody who respects her, and I'm saying the person respects her simply because he loves you.
Yeah, but it's possible for me to be in love with somebody, yeah, and the person disrespects me, and that love will fade. That's how I am. Once I feel there's disrespect, the love is gone.
Alright, so, that is because you feel that for the person to disrespect you, it means that the person does not love you.
But there's also the point where you think of people that don't have sense.
They don't have sense.
Love,
so
love,
somebody that does not have sense can be in love. Everybody can love.
Then you let. Okay.
Well,
let's not keep up with the argument because they are trying to make.
But the most important thing is love and respect go hand in hand. It is difficult to say you love somebody and not respect the person, as much as it's difficult for somebody who claims to love you not to respect you. So somewhere along the line, I'm not agreeing with Victor, but I'm agreeing that love and respect go hand in hand.
Then you agree with me?
No, I'm not agreeing with you too. Oh. That's my own opinion.
They hate to say it, but I'm right. But then that is so much that we've had on that we're going to have on Daybreak Africa, and this is just to say goodbye. Though it feels very painful and sad to say goodbye, but definitely we're going to be seeing you tomorrow, which happens to be Tuesday, bright and early. And as for me, it's Victor Tehemba. See you tomorrow.
And I'm Quest Ahondo. See you tomorrow.
And I am Priscilla Adeshla. Hopefully see you tomorrow.
All right. So have a wonderful day.